Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I've been watching Andrew Baxter's Blades, and he's been playing with a lot of mini trappers. And as you can see here, this is my collection of mini trappers, and they're not all mini trappers. So this is a mini trapper, this is a mini trapper, this is a mini trapper, and this is. So I don't have a lot of mini trappers, and that's kind of strange because they're really nice. So there's a story behind that, and I guess bottom line is, I wasn't just appealed to a mini trapper. I like a full-size trapper, and so I carry the full-size trapper. I like it a lot. I just never really been attracted to the smaller jackknife. These are typically 3.5 inches, and but I went and bought one. I hadn't bought one in a long time. I bought this one, and a beautiful knife, and I got to playing with it and said, yeah, I like it. So anyhow, Baxter was showing his, and so I thought, I'd get into this and talk about the mini trapper a little bit. And if you'd like to hear more about mini trappers, go ahead and check out the video. All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Great to see all of y'all checking in. I've been having a good time. I'm wore out. I had a great weekend. I took a trip on the weekend, then I got back. I had a live feed to do on Tuesday, and just been really busy. When you take a trip like that, you got to pack, got to unpack, blah, 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 and doctor's appointments, stuff like that. So I really haven't had a lot of time to produce videos. So I can't remember when I saw this video that Baxter's Blades did, but so I decided to think about that a little bit. And like I said, I just got one. Beautiful. I love this lizard skin. Really, really nice. I like it. It's a good knife. Good knife. Anyhow, not a review on this, but this is a mini trapper. And like I said, I like full-size trappers, so haven't really been into getting these little knives. But I had some, so I went and I looked at them, and I actually carried this knife. It's a Parker in Greenbone. Pretty nice little knife. Way back when I was investigating Parker, there was, kind of 50-50 comments on it. Are they good? Are they bad? So I wanted to check them out. And this was the first Parker that I bought. You see the spay blade right here. So I carried this thing for about 3 months, every day. What kind of steel is this? Probably, let's see. It's probably 420. Could be ATS 55 maybe. This is an older one, so back in the 80s. But it was easy to sharpen. I'd carry it like 4 days before I sharpened it. Did all the tasks, held up just fine. This knife is just fine, as good as any other knife. And so I liked it, but I would rather see on a knife this size a pin blade on here. So you got one big blade right there. And really, this is getting on the small side to do any skinning, so they call it a mini trapper. Once you get down to this side, I think you just need a pen blade. Enter the case 6207 pattern. This is 3.5 inches. All of these mini trappers, including this one, are 3.5 inches. And case has had this in its lineup for a long time. And you can see it has a clip blade. And this is a red bone case. And it has a pin blade. It doesn't have the big trapper blade. So Case did not call this a mini trapper back when, in the old days. So what is this, an XX? So yeah, 1920 to 1965, right? Yeah, I think that's it. 1940 to 1965, they produced these. And nice little knife. I like the pin blade on this and wish these mini trappers had pin blades. But some interesting things here. So your standard trapper was 4 1/4 inches, 4 1/8 to 4 1/4 inches. That was your standard trapper. And then a smaller knife that was 3/4 of an inch was called a light trapper. And so these weren't single bladed, they were just smaller and called light trappers. And these would probably go up between 3 1/4 and 3 7/8. And you can see the spade blade on there. So that's what makes a trapper is a spade blade. Now, nowadays they put all kinds of skin and blades on trappers, and I think that's fine. I think if you had a different style skin and blade on this, you could still call it a light trapper. And I feel the same way about these. If you put a different style blade, as long as it was a skin blade on here, I think you could still call this a trapper. This is just what the vintage knives typically, had, was the spade blade. And yeah, so any kind of skin and type blade. Another clip blade or something like that, it's not a trapper. So these, I think this is a great design. Another thing about this is I think a lot of people would look at this and say it's a dog leg. And it's really not. So this is a dog leg right here. They had, they're small here and they have a wide end to them. And they were called dog legs because they kind of look like the hind leg of a dog. If you turn it around like that, it looks like a dog's leg. And so they called them dog legs. When you shrink this down, they become peanuts. And most of them have this kind of outwards tilt, but it could tilt the other way too. So it doesn't matter which way it tilts. But you can see the difference in these. This is a much more serpentine pattern. And really this starts to look like a dog leg. Just because if you shrink down this pattern here on the trapper, it just naturally starts to look like a dog leg. So they're not really dog legs, and they are truly minis because this is a light trapper, and when you get down below 3/4 of an inch, then it's going to be a mini trapper. And of course, we have trappers that are smaller than this. So I guess they'd be tiny trappers or micro trappers. I don't know. It gets so confusing. But this is a frost knife here. It's a customized frost knife. And I believe this was made in Pakistan. Can you make it out there? Yeah. It's Pakistan. And if you look, this is kind of unusual too. Let's see. Soligen steel on there. And so this knife made in Pakistan, by the way, is good. So you have completely smooth transitions here. This knife is just fine. Here's another one. Here's another frost that has not been customized. I carried this for a time too. You can see it's kind of scratched up, but they hold up just fine. And you see surgical steel on there. And this one is made in Japan. So that is probably a 420 steel on here. Never had any problem carrying this. And let's see. There's no steel on it. I thought I saw Krupp steel on one of these blades. I wanted to point that out to you. Let's see if I can find it. Can't find it. Just solid and steel. I must have seen it somewhere else. Anyhow, these frost knives hold up just fine. The Parker holds up just fine. They're all mini trappers. Surgical steel again. But this is a different knife. So once you put a pen blade on this knife, it's not a trapper anymore. And I wish Case made this 6207 with a pen blade, because it's just, I don't know. You need a little pen blade if you're carrying. That's one of the advantages of having a little knife like this, right? Is having a little pen blade that you can do your nails with or something like that. So yeah, I just wish they would go back to the pen blade pattern on this 6207. And you know, this is a 6207 just like the other one. There's no half or anything like that. Where is it? Where's the 6207? What the heck? I may be blind. I may just have missed it. There it is. So it's the same model number as this knife right here. Same model number. But just a different blade. And that's kind of unusual too, I found. Case just, I don't know. They just decided to reconfigure the knife and not change the model number at all. You would think like usually when they do a blade trade out, it would be a half. You'd think they'd say this should be a 6207 and a half. I don't really know why they did that. But anyhow, that's my take on the mini trappers. I like them. I wish they had a pen blade instead of a spay blade on them. Yeah, two big blades you can use, but part of the advantage of a slip joint is having a smaller blade to do smaller tasks with. So that's my take on the mini trapper, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Really appreciate all of y'all. Thanks again.